Well, folks, today in another heartbreaking story about how corporations are not your friends, it appears that Amazon was caught denying the leave request of a New Orleans truck attack victim, a mother who was hit by the truck and then shot, who then requested, for entirely valid reasons, a leave of absence from the warehouse she worked at and was at least initially flat out denied. It is disgusting and despicable and heartbreaking, and I apologize in advance for the nature of the story, but it is something that I feel is very worth sharing, especially at this point in time. And additional apologies, I couldn't find much video footage on this, just an article, so I will do my best to emphatically convey the stress and heartbreaking agony of this situation from this article. Dystopianly titled, Alabama Mom Hit by Truck, Then Shot in Bourbon Street Attack. It's just so disturbing. Unfortunately speaking about more than just the attack there. Our story begins. A night of revelry was coming to a close for Alexis Scott Wyndham and her friends in the early hours of New Year's Day after they came from Mobile, Alabama to ring in the new year on Bourbon Street. The group had reached their final stop of the evening, Crescent City Pizza Works, to quickly use the restroom after finding out the restaurant was done selling food for the night. Then, standing outside the pizza parlor on the sidewalk, Scott Wyndham heard the whizzing sound of a speeding car and several loud booms. She looked to her left and saw the white pickup truck barreling toward her with its headlights turned off, already running other people over. She began to step away, but didn't have enough time to escape. The truck ran over the back of her right foot, and she fell to the ground. Pew-pews began to ring out, and she tried to get up and run away. Once she stood, she saw the blood leaking from her injured foot. She had also been shot. Scott Wyndham, 23, and her friend Brandon Whitsett, 22, were among the dozens injured in that police say 42-year-old Shamsud Din Jabbar plowed his truck through crowds on the street just after 3 a.m., crashing the vehicle and opening fire with a Jabbar was unalived by police at the scene. Jabbar also an American citizen in the U.S. military, not a foreign-born terrorista like the maggot Republicans want you to believe. He was coming so fast, there wasn't any time to move all the way out of the way, said Scott Wyndham, now back at home and recovering. I was just blessed that I only got shot in the foot and I made it back home. She'd arrived on Bourbon Street about 20 minutes before midnight with a group of 7 friends, she said, all drinking hand grenades and walking along the street. You can see the drinks in the picture there. Everybody there was celebrating the new year and having a good time, she recalled. But the moments after felt like a movie. Her heart pounded quickly against her chest as Jabbar flew by. She thought he was a drunk driver, acting unintentionally. As her best friend came to help her move out of the way, Scott Wyndham recalled seeing bodies on the side of her, one person lying face down and another with his eyes open, blood running down his face. She thought of her 1-year-old daughter, Sky, and how grateful she was to have survived. She didn't even know she'd been shot until she got to the hospital, where she added in an interview, "It's just so disturbing. I don't even know how to explain it because you never would have thought this would ever have happened." And she returned to Mobile on Wednesday with the bullet still in her foot along with multiple fractures. And she will need to return to an orthopedist in 2 weeks to check on her foot. And in that same interview, she said that her request for a leave of absence from the Amazon warehouse that she worked at was denied, despite the fact that she still has a bullet lodged in her foot and is suffering from what the newspaper describes as multiple fractures as a result of the incident, which took the lives of 14 people and left several more injured. She is the mother of a 1-year-old girl and told the Advocate that she fears she will have to find a new job because her injuries left her in no condition to work. And thankfully, this story has a happy ending because while they did originally deny her request for a leave of absence, which is still utterly ridiculous and unacceptable, the company has said since then in a statement today that they've since spoken with her and given her time off with pay. How little? We don't know. But that is unacceptable. That is atrocious, and that is a type of corporate greed that we need to fight against. If you stuck it around to the end, thank you for watching. I felt this story needed to be covered, and I just wanted to share it because it's so frustrating when tragedy strikes like this and corporations will go ahead and find ways to profit, but then the real people who are hurt, whose lives are disrupted, even ended, don't get a lick of sympathy from those same people that are crying foul when a CEO takes a dive. And I'm not trying to make a comment on the morality of anything that was done to the United Healthcare CEO. I'm not putting a value judgment on that. But I'm saying this is the humanitarian disconnect that comes from this level of hyper-capitalism, corporate greed. And we should find legislative, real, non-violent political ways to stomp it out. That's all for now. If you agree and you made it this far, we'd appreciate you dropping a like on the video, subscribing to the Really American channel, supporting independent media. And for Really American, I'm Kenny Hesse. I'll see you all in the next one.